You're looking better today.
Oh yeah, I feel better. Hey, thanks a lot, Bob. So how were things while I was gone?
I got someone pregnant.
Oh, that's great. Okay, who's the lucky person?
Me.
Hey, it's Soul. It's January 5th, 2018. It's the first weekly of the year. This is Warcraft Weekly, and that's Bob over there, and let's get to the show. Today's episode is brought to you by Shaddix. Shaddix, applied directly to the forehead. Shaddix, applied directly to the forehead.
Shaddix applied to
Shut up. So, everybody, how was your week? My week was pretty darn good. I had a lot going on. I was pretty busy. I'm kind of sort of still recovering from my cold, but I'd say that I'm like 86.7% better. Like I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm better. In the meantime, I had some pretty big shifts. I moved the streaming operation from YouTube all the way to Twitch, like finally and totally this time. And maybe it's thanks to that, or maybe it's a coincidence, but I had a nice little, a really nice spike of subscribers and patrons. So I want to give a really big thanks to all the new visitors and the people who have decided to help contribute to the growth of this channel. I really appreciate it. These are the things that are going to help me get like new replacement parts, and some of these I need like sooner rather than later. But don't worry your head off. I still want to give you all this content for free. I still want to make all the streams available, but it's cool to know that there's a platform where you guys can make contributions and I can reward you with cute little perks here and there. Raid-wise, we did pretty well. We finally got Coven down. We also got Agrimar down. Argus kind of whooped our butts a little bit. I think we got tired.
Did you get tired of being good?
That doesn't affect me because I have to be good first. I think I got a little bit cocky, so my hopes are that next week we perform a little bit better, finally get that boss down, and then we can move on to other things like achievement runs, community runs with you fucks at home and on the toilet. So I'm looking forward to that stuff. Just stay tuned for like raid times and things like that if you're interested. This week's featured YouTuber is Abeythu.
Abeythu?
Well, I don't know, maybe like Abeythu? Let's go with Abeythu. Abeythu is a feral druid, and after taking a look at her videos, they're pretty darn impressive, you know? I have a guy in my guild who briefly played as a feral druid, but then he like swaps out characters like he changes shirts, you feel me? You know those kind of people?
What do you mean, those people?
I mean, I can't get out of that one. Anyway, most of her work involves point of views from, of course, a feral druid perspective. She also includes a mage tower guide for those of you who are interested. And that's about it. It's just a solid focused channel, feral druid stuff. If you're a fan of that, take a look. The last video that she uploaded though was about a month ago, which is kind of a shame because the content looks pretty good. My hope is that if you can give her a little bit of attention, some commentary, suggestions, or, you know, just the views and subscriptions, then she'll be a little bit more active in the community. As always, if you know of a small WoW YouTube channel that is 10,000 or fewer subscribers that you think, hey, you know what, that person should get some attention, send them my way. I'll take a look and I'll probably feature it. But of course, how was your week? I always like hearing how people have been doing. It's a real treat seeing people return from week to week, sharing like just how life has been going for them, either in WoW or in the 3D fleshy world that we live in. And I do have some winners to announce from the contest that I was holding just the other week. The contest was to either get a WoW token or to get something from the Blizzard store, mostly because, you know, stuff was on sale and it was kind of cheap, so I was like, hey, why not, right?
Cheap mother...
Smart mother... You know, it's cheap. Yeah, smart. You feel me, right? Our winner of the WoW token is Kristen Ford, who says, I've gotten a few things I wanted from Great Father Winter, both in-game and IRL. I finally got some toys I've been missing from the toys and achievements in WoW for Winter Veil. Just need one more toy and the mount for Winter's Veil. In real life, my boyfriend finally got me the first 5 books of World of Warcraft for the lore. Been begging and waiting for this for ages. I'm excited to start reading and collecting. As for the giveaways, sign me up. For the shop giveaway, I would love a long-ass list of stuff, okay? And our winner for the store item is Stephen Rouse. The second. Yeah, okay. He says, for the Mount Celestial Steed. Cool. Had an awesome week, did a lot of preparation for Christmas. Finally finished up all my shopping yesterday, made about 60 grand gold yesterday. And today, which is pretty good for me. Hope you had an awesome week and get well soon. I am feeling better, and hopefully you too will feel a little bit better now that you're gonna get something cool in the mail. So if you guys can reply to me like either a direct message or just reach out to me in social media, give me an email, and I will gift these things over to you, and that's pretty much it. So congratulations to the winners, and of course thank you everybody to for having submitted your own little stories and your requests and things like that. I love seeing the comments. I love being able to read and sift through them. And now for the news.
Really?
Yeah. We do have news, okay? The other week in Mythic Plus land, we had some of the easier affixes to handle, which include Sanguine, Volcanic, and Fortified. And the pro tip, if you don't know that already, if you see that combination, it's game time. That's pretty much the time where you want to push as high of a key as possible. And the community did. Some of the best dungeoneers in the world of Warcraft were able to complete Lower Karazhan and the Archway at a freaking level of 27. 27, dude.
Meanwhile, someone still hasn't completed their 15.
Hey, I'm like busy, okay? I got other games that I play. There are, there's the production stuff that I do, or the research, and so on and so forth. I don't have time, and at least the time that I have just doesn't align with the guild's time.
Meanwhile, you should probably put a little bit more effort into going out more.
You have no idea how ironic that is at like several different levels. So the takeaway that I have here is that this particular fix combination is one of the easiest to handle. So whenever you happen to see it, definitely get it done.
Did you even do it that week?
No. I was sick.
Wow.
Okay.
What? Jeez, dude. Just get out of here.
You're ruthless.
I am, certainly.
The third LFR wing of Antorus the Burning Throne is out this week. And boy, they're a doozy not doozy. The first boss that you take care of is King Garoth, or King Garoth. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kin something, the hammer guy that doesn't move. Of course, the bosses in Looking for Raid difficulty aren't overly complicated at all, but I found this one to be at least slightly more challenging because, well, somehow people died when I was doing it, and it just made it so that, like, in the high likelihood that you don't have very many high DPS in there, it just takes a while for you to get all the ads down, even though there's only one, it just gets to be kind of a mess. Varimathras felt like the easiest out of these three. As far as I saw, there's no misery mechanic, so as a tank I'm just kind of chilling there, stab stabby, shield smash. That's about it. Coven was a little bit interesting in that you could stack the bosses, so that's a thing. But the walker mechanic is still there, which is bound to like just wipe a bunch of people out. The thing is, if you happen to have relatively high DPS, you're able to just kind of push through without really having to deal with it. Anyway, with that stuff done, in 2 weeks we're going to get the last wing of LFR, which is going to cover Agrimar and Argus, which at that point everyone is going to share in that cool little, new skybox without the looming planet, and that big old thing over in Silithus, whatever it is. And shortly after that date, and by that I mean I'm not sure at all, that's when we're going to get the 7.35 patch and all the goodness that comes with it, even though we don't quite know exactly when we're gonna get all these things. But one of them is the Seething Shore. The Seething Shore Battleground is the first battleground that we've had in a very long time. Here we see the loading screen, which is basically a summary of the entire point of the instance, where it's two teams, of course, Horde and Alliance, and they're going over and they're racing, trying to get to these new,
Boy, stop. What's that in the sky?
Those things up there, or, wherever I'm pointing, those things are airships. Those are like the spawn points when you start the battleground, and whenever you die, you go back onto the ship, and then you just kind of jump down, and you land somewhere, and you try to get to these nodes.
Do we get to like shoot things from the ship?
No, I don't think they do anything. To be honest,
that freaking sucks.
So obviously this is a part of the new build that came out this week. The boys and girls at Blizzard are back in the office apparently. And the new PTR build, it's pretty light. There's just a couple of updates, including that screenshot, some minor changes, and of course lots of spoilery things that involve allied races, their quest lines, the starting experience even, and all this stuff you can take a look over at Wowhead.com. Speaking of allied races, they kind of clarified just a little bit of information on how they are unlocked. To unlock the High Mountain Tauren, Nightborn as well as all the other 3 races, so I'm not talking about Dark Iron or Zandalari. We have pretty much no information on those yet. But to unlock those, you need to get to Exalted Reputation with any of these factions, as well as complete the storyline. So in the High Mountain, you basically need to complete the Zone storyline. For the Nightborn, you don't need to complete the entire Suramar questline, you just need to complete that Suramaritan achievement, I think that's how it's pronounced. To get Void Elves, you need to complete the entire Argus storyline and get exalted with Argusian Reach, which kinda makes sense. And for Lightforged Draenei, same thing. Complete the Argus storyline and then get exalted with Army of the Light, which definitely makes sense. Wowhead also developed a tool. All you have to do is plug in your name and ta-da, it'll just tell you what your progress is. And the cool thing is that this isn't faction specific and it's account wide, so if at some point you've completed these achievements, regardless of what faction you were on, that will apply. And again, thanks to Wowhead for doing that research for me. Haha. But I can't help but poke a little fun at it. I mean, because when you break it down, like when you break these requirements down, they're not very bad at all. Basically, it's like, did you level up? Yes. And do you do emissaries, you know, on a fairly regular basis? If the answer is yes, chances are pretty darn good that just your normal gameplay, your normal everyday thing, is going to get you these unlocks. I would argue though, and here's me purposefully, you know, starting mess between the factions, I think that the Alliance races are a lot easier to unlock than the Horde ones. And here's why. Going through the Argus storyline and repping up with them is pretty darn automatic, because by the time you get to that point, you're at endgame, you're at the end, you know, and all the good stuff is over on Argus with regards to like rares and farming stuff. You're gonna hang out there quite a bit. With High Mountain, the quest line is not you know, extremely long. It only takes a couple of hours for you to go through, but you can miss it. So there's a chance that you might have missed it at some point. You might have done what I did and just level up exclusively doing Legion assaults. Or you might just hate High Mountain and you wanted to skip it anyway, so there you go. With the Nightborn, you have to make a pretty concerted effort to go into that zone and complete. You know what? I said earlier that completing the Suramaritan, the whatever the hell that achievement is called, I said that it wasn't so bad. I take that back. It's actually going to take a while. Now granted, the Suramar storyline is a cool storyline, it's a lot of fun, and you don't have to do absolutely everything, but you're going to do almost everything that there is to do in that entire zone. So in short, unlocking the Allied Horde races takes a little bit more effort, a little bit more dedication, and discipline. And unlocking the Alliance Allied races is easy and it's for children. And I'm kidding.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am. Shut up. And that's pretty much the news for this week. I'm really looking forward to getting back into like some video essays next week. That's kind of the plan. So I'm starting to write up some scripts and other things. So stay tuned for that. I want to give one last and very big thanks to all the contributors this week. I'm really surprised at the outpouring of support that I've been getting lately, and yeah, it's just awesome. If you want to be a fellow Breezy or a fellow contributor to the channel, take a look at the Patreon link below. You can take a look at some of the cool little perks that you might see either at the beginning or the end of all of my videos going forward. If you're more interested in watching and supporting me over on Twitch, you can go over to my Twitch channel and you can support me that way too. And from that, as I learn Twitch, right? As I learn it, I'm going to develop more things like emoticons and other cool things to make all of you feel special. I want to do what I can to give back to you, but at the same time, make all this content free for everyone at home or on the toilet. So if nothing else, support this channel with a like, a subscription, or otherwise to just keep watching. Stay tuned for next week. Like I said, I'm looking forward to giving you more content and all things World of Warcraft. But until then, from me and Bob, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.